Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Liberty Libations number 178. My name is Jake Green. I'm joining you from the back of a Sprinter van in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, about to cross the line into Idaho. So apologies if the sound is a little bit iffy. I'm literally in the back of a van. So I'm joined by Alden, soon to be Nick, who just popped in but doesn't have his stuff figured out yet, and then Steven here in a little bit. So Alden,
Bless
there you go. What are you drinking, buddy?
I've got a couple of things. I started with a Labatt Blue, but then I don't like pop tops or twist offs for the sound, so I needed something more dramatic for sound. So I have a can of Yingling Black and Tan, which is
I love it.
Not that bad actually, as long as you're not expecting a full Black and Tan experience. And then some my birthday scotch from this week.
There you go.
A Lafroig Oak Select, which was $43, which honestly my new favorite budget option. Like,
that's not bad.
$43 for anything like Lafroig name on it, I'll buy that all day.
Dude, that's pretty good. That's basically what their just lowest Lafroig is normally.
I think so, yeah. Like it's but this one drinks better than anything at $40 I've had, I think. But Lafroig, I don't know how to say it, but it's good shit.
It's Lafroig.
Okay, so I was right. All right.
Yeah, I watched a whole video on how to pronounce certain Scottish whiskeys.
Yeah, like the old school, like Gaelic kind of rooted language stuff or whatever. Some of them are obvious, and some of them I would have never guessed how to pronounce it.
Yes, completely agree. Well, I'm a little boring tonight. I'm feeling a little under the weather, and we're in a moving vehicle, so I don't want an open container. So I've got some immunity boosting electrolytes. Feeling a little iffy today, so we'll see.
That's totally fair. You're in a van. I will say, depending on, you're driving through a bunch of states, so it's hard to say, but depending on what state you're in, sometimes the passenger can have one, especially in vans or whatever. Like,
if I shut the door to the front, I think I could have it.
Then you have a separate, distinct cabin.
But the issue with that is the AC is coming from the cockpit, so I need.
It's not worth it.
I need the AC. Nick just disappeared, so he's not coming on for a second.
I thought you were talking about your driver for a second, and I was like, that is bad.
Oh yeah, no. Nikki is still driving.
Nikki is good, yeah, okay.
And driving very well, considering we're on a 2-lane highway, and we're towing a boat behind us.
Yeah, fun.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Well, y'all, let's see.
Haley would never do that.
We've had one show since the Libertarian National Convention. It didn't go well for the Mises Caucus. In fact, it went super poorly, which was unfortunate. And the moment the opposing people got into power, they started doing the exact things we didn't want them to do, which is why we took over the party. So, we got to regain our foothold and get back into it and retake it in 2 years. And hopefully, look, there's been a lot of talk about Massey ever since his run failed, ever since he lost his run for House. Mm-hmm. And there's been a lot of talk about him running for president in 2028. And
what ticket? Like,
what's that?
What party would he?
Republican Party.
Okay.
And my thing with that is we are never going to get a better shot at getting a libertarian in office, or like at least, I don't know. Like Dave Smith talked about it the other day. I didn't listen to what he had to say. I just know the headline was Thomas Massey has a chance to be the Republican nominee in 2028. Nick, give me a thumbs up if you're good to go. Okay.
He said he was having computer problems there.
He did in the Discord?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't have the Discord open. Let's see. Gum. It is.
Yeah, I think Massey is like one of those ones that in losing, he actually got, I think, more attention nationally, not just like in a state, and it kind of put him on a spotlight, especially under the circumstances that he lost, which is like he basically like lost to AIPAC, which is not a good look or whatever.
Yeah.
For AIPAC, I mean. So it really could be kind of like this weird like martyry kind of loss that like garners, you know, more attention and puts him in more national spotlight. So it is interesting. At least maybe he could like lose a battle, win a war kind of thing.
There's an odd silver lining to it, which is it got a ton more attention and a ton of press, and it kind of sets him up to be the thing that Trump was supposed to be, which was America.
I would argue that was, I never bought that, by the way. So I would argue, I don't even want to put those things together. It doesn't matter
if that's what you bought. That's what he tried to sell himself as.
Okay. I just want to be careful about being like what Trump should have been or whatever. I'm like, I want a full separation from I want no more to do with Trumpness right now.
Yeah, I want the guy who's been attacked by Democrats, attacked by Republicans, attacked by the presidents, all of it. And that's Placie.
Yeah, not favored by, and you know, Israel and everyone knows he's just doing his own thing. And like, I want a real person. Oh my God, what a concept. Like there's so few in government at like upper levels of government.
Right? Dude, it's crazy. Well, my whole thing is if the Libertarian Party runs a candidate against a Thomas Massie campaign for president, I think I might have to quit the Libertarian Party at that point.
That's a tough,
or at least take a massive hiatus for a very long time.
That's a tough one. I see, you know, like if you just are a separate entity, you just are trying to kind of do your own thing and keep afloat and whatever. But this is like I think we got into this as like a principal kind of conversation last week, where is it more libertarian to vote libertarian regardless of whatever, right? Or is it more like, does it come back to you as a libertarian more to sometimes vote different directions that actually might help libertarian causes, even if it's not like, you know, libertarian actual party. And I'm okay with going with whatever gets us closer to, you know, as a country, libertarian ideals.
Yeah, incremental change is a lot better than no change at all and just being principled. So like,
or a change that leads to a goal that we want that, you know, by name was like maybe Republican or Democrat or whatever, like by the person who carried it out, but by action is more libertarian maybe at heart than now I'm not saying more libertarian than a libertarian candidate, but I'm saying the chances of this person winning are more, and so could actually have bigger ripple effects for, you know, all of us living here than just voting for a libertarian only candidate or whatever. It's like an interesting compromise, but
it is. And libertarians hate compromising. I hate compromising, but it's something that is needed a lot, you know, a good amount of the time when you are not the one in power.
But usually it's one thing to be like, I don't like to compromise. I like to either just like win it all or lose it. And it's like, but we are losing all the, like, what do we win at that level of government, at the presidential level, a national level? Like, when do we get anything? So I'll take a compromise at that point, I think.
I'll take a compromise at that point. All right. Well, let's get into our first topic of the evening. I think Nick might be solving his issues.
He's ready. Yeah.
Let me in, he says.
I wouldn't say he's solving his issues, but he's ready to join.
Okay,
I've been here for like 3 minutes.
Nick still has plenty of issues other than
tons of issues.
So, but we'll let him in. Anyway.
Tons of issues.
I think you have to have issues to be on this show.
I went to get it started, and I'd come in, and it would just like freeze up on me. I had to restart.
Gotcha. No worries.
Because I had to run around today. I had to go to the store and get ammo because I decided today I was going to do a shotgun class this weekend. So I had to get.
There we go. Nice.
I had to go get a bunch of shotgun shells, and then I had to stop at the liquor store to get something to drink tonight.
What
two things go together famously? Yeah.
I grabbed this Green River Foolproof.
Okay, nice. Bourbon. Love it.
Never had that.
117.9 proof.
Where's that out of?
Kentucky.
Better be Kentucky. Somewhere. It says bourbon.
Owensburg, Kentucky.
You can make. I don't think that's one of the rules of bourbon is that it has to be out of Kentucky.
It is one of the rules, and people break it all the time.
Is it really an official? I know
it's
like
it's a thing.
1% corn or whatever, and
It's a
Dude,
thing in Kentucky at least, but I think
Yes.
broadly
Well,
it has to be American at least. To be
Yes, it's
considered bourbon.
American oak
Yeah.
barrels, charred, never used before, and all that, and 51% corn and yada yada. But I
Yeah.
feel like the Kentucky thing is like a weird misnomer or whatever.
Nah. If bourbon outside of Kentucky, you're a loser. All right, let's check out the first video.
Point where even the most backward moments in society are just accepted as normal. The government has just seized a small family farmer's land to build an airport for private jets of all things. After receiving $83 million in government funding, construction just broke on what will be Georgia's first new airport since 2008, primarily serving corporate and private jet traffic. In their way was a man named Jeff Mellon's family cattle farm, which has operated on that same land since 1951. But through the power of eminent domain, the government can seize this land for public use, and so they took approximately 225 acres of his operation, forcing him to cut down massively. Half his operation was gone. He had to liquidate cattle, remove decades of equipment, and vacate the facilities on just 90 days notice. This is all part of a crazy rule where the government can force you to sell your property to them so that it can use that same land for a project that it claims to be public. And this farm previously already gave up land in an earlier eminent domain proceeding, leading Mellon to believe the remainder was safe, but he was wrong. Here's what Mellon said in response. My grandfather, dad, and myself protected this land. We survived depressions and disasters and kept this place together for decades. My dad turned down millions of dollars over and over from subdivisions. The corruption is showing no signs of stopping, and our only source of hope is for customers to vote with their dollars. We see one way or another, many farms are getting knocked out every day, so support these cattle ranchers while you still can. We've now reached a
Eminent domain is one of the fucking worst things in this country.
Yes.
It's so stupid. It makes me angry every time.
So the one of the more bizarre things, we're going to get to another form of property seizure here in a minute, but one of the more bizarre things with this one is they're even going outside of the bounds of eminent domain. Like they were using eminent domain to seize properties along the border, to build the daggum border wall, which I think is a travesty as well. However, far more understandable. This was for a private airport.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even fall under like a public purview.
Well,
like I don't even get it.
It doesn't have to necessarily be like a public use, right? It just has to be like what in a lot of ways they just try to frame or they try to frame it as good in the public's interest that we do it, right? There's been stories of like, well, we're going to eminent domain this neighborhood and we're going to put up a big industrial park here or something to allow businesses in because it's for the public good that we have businesses here as a tax base and screw your house. Nothing pisses me off more, I think, than eminent domain.
Yeah, we are in agreement on that. It gets my just blood boiling every time I hear about something like that. And this guy's, it happened to him multiple times, apparently. And what sucks is he turned down other deals that I'm sure he could have made more money if he had accepted the deal for, the developers or whatever. And then eminent domain, I think they're only required to give you, I forget what percentages of it, or like based on, your appraisal within a certain amount of years or something, but you get dicked on it too. Like it's not like a super,
they're not giving you top dollar.
No. Whereas if
they're not even coming fair market value.
No,
they're finding any way to come under fair market.
I think it's based on like previous appraisals within a certain like amount of years or something. And so it could be way outdated if he's lived there for decades. Like,
I was going to say it's probably has something to do with the tax assessment of the property, which is them determining that to begin with.
That's hilarious too. Yeah,
they're basically determining the value of the property and what they're going to pay for it.
We're going to stealing
it from you.
We're going to pay you based on what this says it's worth, and it's like, oh, who decides that? Oh, we do. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, aside from taxes, it's one of the more atrocious things that the government does to its own citizens.
I would say taxes affects everyone, and this is the thing that affects some people tragically. And I think if everyone really knew and understood, and like if we all broadly were like getting hit with eminent domain type stuff, I think I would put it in worse than taxes even. But it's just that it affects some people worse and not everyone is blanket effect, but
yes, it is not a widespread affliction by every single citizen of the country. It's very specific people, and this isn't the only case. We're going to get to another one here in New York in a second, but We talked about this on the final episode of the Free Georgia podcast that Stephen Hilton was a guest on.
Oh, nice.
Where AI data centers are using eminent domain and getting the government involved in order to route buy their land for their data centers, but also route the power sources and the water sources that are coming to it. And so it's happening all over Georgia, which is a really strange, I don't know, something about that it's happening in multiple places right now around Georgia as we speak, as well as this airport.
I thought Georgia and Utah was a state that was coming up that had like some big like server farm AI.
There's like some massive development going on in Utah.
Yeah, like one huge facility that's like miles and miles or whatever. Like
which is
64 square miles.
Which is absurd to me that they're sticking this stuff in places that don't have water.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a good point. That's so dumb.
It doesn't make any sense considering how much water these things use to cool their components.
But then they can eminent domain a path all the way to where the water is, and so they can bring the water in, Just eminent domain all the way down.
And the thing is, like, I'm not like anti-server farm or anti-AI server farm or whatever it is. Like,
I kind of am.
I'm not.
I certainly am if you're going to force people out to do it.
No.
Like,
so
if you can't figure it out.
Alden. The caveat is obviously that, like, I'm perfectly fine with somebody buying land and creating a server farm and then paying for the electricity and for the water from the town that they're taking it from. What I'm not okay with is what happened in Georgia, where a data center used it was like $34 million worth of water.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't remember. Whatever it was. It was a
lot of water.
Enormous amount of water, and didn't pay for it. Ended up paying for it way later, a few years later, but they got no penalty fees or anything because the county said, we don't want to upset our best customer.
Yep.
And when you come in and you put a facility in that's so large and uses so much power and so much water that you're driving the rates up for the consumer, the average household, the residential customer.
That's what I was going to bring up too.
That's also in my feels incorrect. Like, you should get a say in that if you're because you don't have the ability to negotiate your electricity prices. Really, it is within certain bands. I mean, some places it's somewhat privatized, and in other places, like in Georgia, you have a public utility commission where five elected bureaucrats basically say if they're allowed to raise rates or not. Right. So you should have a say on if it's there, or hey, this can't be at that scale here because you are going to disrupt you're going to noticeably raise our rates, or you've got to pay the higher rate for an industrial use versus a residential use, which is also a fair argument.
Yeah, very fair argument. And there have been multiple situations where the town voted it down. It came to a referendum vote. The town voted it down, and then the state partnered with the company and stole the land back from the town. And that's happened in multiple occasions. And it wasn't in Georgia. It was like Indiana and Iowa or something like that. But the town came together, voted it down, and the state got involved and did it anyway.
I mean, one way to do it, and we'll see how it plays out, is like Microsoft's doing in Pennsylvania, where they're recommissioning one of the 3 Mile Island reactors to power their data centers.
I don't hate that.
If you want to run your own nuke to power your stuff, have at it. I mean,
yeah, I'm so on board with that. Then we can just put all the data centers there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
At least there's water.
At least there's water.
It's called an island.
All right.
I mean, I don't think there are data centers on 3 Mile Island, but they're going to recommission one of the reactors there for this purpose.
It's not the desert.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's on a river, so Pennsylvania's got plenty of water.
That's true. All right. Here's another video of another way they're going to seize property.
Our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect, we will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards. Stewards that include community land trusts, nonprofits, or even the tenants themselves. Through our new city...
Who defines what this like chronic neglect is? Because someone could come look at my house right now and I'm mid work on it and they could be like, this is chronic neglect. Like, we got to get these people out of here. These are fucking hillbillies. Give it to whoever. Like, when things are worded that way, it just like flags go up. Like, I mean, flags went up 100 times.
Well,
sorry, but
what we have to, I mean, this is just, we knew he was a leftist and we knew he'd be trying, actual communist type policies here.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be surprising, but I think the thing to consider is how the New York housing market operates. And when you're talking chronic neglect, yeah, there's always your slumlords out there. But I think a lot of times with New York, with the way they rent control apartments and make it impossible for the owners to break even on units, then those owners throw their hands up and say, well, I'm not going to do anything more than I absolutely.
But then that still stems from like a government decision from the beginning, because then if you rent control, then that is what creates, and then there's solution to
what
that
I'm saying
is
is
another government decision, and we're
right.
In this
I'm saying
like,
saying it's the fact that government policies kind of
know.
create that beast in a lot of ways.
Yep.
To do that, right? You make it impossible. You buy property and you own it, and you're trying to turn a profit with that property so that it can allow it to be used for its highest and best use. And instead, the government comes in and makes it impossible for you to earn a profit, make money, and have that asset perform the way it should.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you get people who just say, okay, well, I'm going to get whatever I can out of it because I can't do anything with it. It's going to cost me more to either be in compliance. It's going to cost me a fortune for this. I can't get this person out of there because of rent control laws, anything like that.
It's manipulating a free market kind of in its own way too, with just like the rent control is a big part of just being like, you're not allowed to charge what you want and that kind of thing or whatever. And when there's certain limits to like not being able to like gouge or price hike certain percentages from year to year or whatever, it's like fine, but like New York, I feel like New York City, I've never lived there, but I feel like everyone knows about New York City as being like this like weird little pocket of the world where they do their own rent thing. And then they end up they're the ones that end up with this like, crazy, like extreme looking solution all of a sudden too. And it's like, well, maybe the extreme process along the way is what led us to this extreme looking solution too. I don't know. It's the government just like making problems and then making solutions to problems all over again. Like,
which those solutions are just going to cause more problems.
Oh no, of course we're spiraling down. Like it's not a
solution spiral.
Yeah. It's a bad one. Ride the spiral.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not. Again, it comes down to defining the terms, which is like, what is neglect? What is a slumlord? What are these things? Like, I live in abject poverty compared to Bill Gates.
Everything's relative.
Everything is relative. And so I don't know, there are spots in, I don't know if anybody here has been to India. There are spots in India, man, where I wouldn't wish that style of living on anybody that I've ever met in my entire life. But that's how, like, that's what the market will bear, or that's what is happening in that country. And it's not clear at all, or it shouldn't be clear at all to these people that the government getting this heavily involved in things will make things better. I know they all think it, and I know it all stems from socialism and communism and that type of thinking where a utopia is the goal. But a utopia is impossible. And a utopia will never happen because we live here on Earth where things decay from the moment they're born. And so
a utopia is impossible the way that happiness forever is impossible, where like it's not the way that it works. Like light and shadow, happiness and sadness, like, you know, ups and downs, like everything like averages out. Like there's not this perfect flat line homeostasis of things that are just like, it's perfect. It's like, you know, everything is always moving. It's the way that like just life is. And I think when we're on a long enough timeline, generationally, I think we really forget a lot of things. We forget what it was like, you know, in, I don't know, whatever, pick a thing, the Great Depression or a world war or whatever, or what, like, you know, and we end up, I think, a little bit losing sight of, it's been so long and it's been this gradual effect of like this government, like, you know, influence and meddling and trickling and whatever over for so long that we now just go like, oh, fix it. Like, and instead of wanting to rip it all away, because it would be, how far back do we have to go to see what it was like before that influence? And it's so far, I don't even think any of us were alive when it was, you know, cut in half, even the amount of influence, like, or whatever. The level of taxes that we have and the level of laws that we have that are just changing our world in very undesirable ways.
Yeah.
And it's funny to look to the same sources of those things for the help, but they keep pitching it that way. That's what they do. They're like, oh, we have a solution to this thing. And it's like, I don't know. It's not, they obviously aren't making it clear that they were the creators of the original problem that they're pitching a solution for. That's not what they're doing. You have to look behind and between to see that.
You have to look over a long period of time, and you have to, like, in order to actually, nobody's going to do the research to actually understand what is happening here.
We're not all Zanes,
You have to look at you have to read a ton of economics books. You have to look over a long period of time. You have to read the laws that have been passed and the things that have been done in that city over like the span of like 100 years to see, oh, a bunch of this stemmed from these policies. And
we talk a lot about the creation of the Fed being like a big one that has changed so many things, but there's many. Yeah, Nikki's driving.
Yes, Nikki's driving. Yeah, I'm in the back of our Sprinter van. We're towing a boat behind it. There's a lot of wind. We're on a 2-lane road.
You should have filmed yourself in the boat, actually.
That'd be good.
I wanted to strap my dog to the captain's seat of the boat and just go and see how many pictures showed up on Instagram. But I decided not to do that.
Cooler heads prevailed. Yeah,
I thought that would be so stinking funny.
That'd be funny.
Why do you need a boat in Nevada?
What? I don't need a boat in Nevada. I'm taking it from California to Montana.
But the origin of the story is the boat was in Nevada, right? Like
the boat was in California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
my bad.
We were given a boat by my father-in-law.
And
that's nice.
Taking it to Montana, where there's at least water in Montana. So
yeah, we have Missouri River 10 minutes from our house.
I've been on it with you.
Yeah, it's been great. Grumpy. You trust her. She may be a stunt woman, but she's still a woman.
Oh, she's going to smack Grumpy next time. Tease him.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I mean, what more can we say? Like, I'm sure Steven would have a lot more to say about eminent domain, but he's not here yet. He's now 30 minutes late, putting his kid to bed. But yeah, I don't know. Nick, do you have any final words about eminent domain before we hit the next one?
On eminent domain itself, not really. I mean, it's a pretty cut and straightforward that, like, you know, it shouldn't be a thing. There are instances where, you know, in the way that we live, I guess there's excuses for it in very niche circumstances, but an airport is not one of those excuses. Industrial use is not one of those excuses. You know, and that's to say I oppose it all the way around. Now, in regards to the New York issue there, you know, I think that, you know, I think it'd be really interesting if that does happen and we see a live experiment on why socialism fails, right? Because he said public land trusts or the tenants themselves, right? So every tenant is going to be like, I want to own this building. Same thing as all the people all the commies who go, I push the button on the assembly line, I should own the factory type thing. But
Yeah.
you have no skin in the game. You had no investment. You have no reason to take care of it. And now you're going to make the upkeep of the building itself shared by multiple tenants
Good luck
a
with that.
communal property. Who's going to be paying for this, right? They're not. It's going to
And
end up in just even
people
worse
were
squalor
cheering, but I honestly feel like this is going to end poorly for the very people that think it's going to end well, where it's like, oh, you want that responsibility or whatever.
It's
And then
the story of socialism. It always ends poorly.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like all of a sudden, like these buildings that have been neglected for years, and it's all of a sudden like we're gonna like turn it over to the tenants and be like, now you're in charge of it, and like they're not going to be able to afford to fix because it's been neglected for years. We're saying it's been neglected for years. It's overdue for maintenance, and then you're going to turn it over to the tenants who have like no liquid wealth and no assets and are in rent controlled apartment. Like I don't know. It doesn't even make sense to me. Maybe I'm missing something, but it doesn't make sense to me.
No, it makes no sense. It's a terrible solution to the problems that have been created.
And I wanted to add on the detail of this too, with the eminent domain in this story was that it was like a small scale farm. And I think this year there's been like record closures of farms in this country. And like, I'm scared. It's not looking good. Bill Gates is buying basically everyone's farm. That's fun. We're gonna have like impossible apples or whatever the hell next. Like,
Dude, don't even get started on the impossible stuff.
Exactly. But we already have. It's like if a farm is not already basically forced into the position of the hard decision of shutting down because you can't compete with large scale factory stuff, or dealing with like things like where the government subsidies for corn and stuff like that. And this is another thing of like meddling and fucking things up, and they can't compete based on subsidies and like these artificial prices and things like that or whatever, and things at scale, or something like Monsanto suing you because your crop had the genes of their whatever product because it pollinated and blew over the goddamn line of the field, and then they sue. This is a literal thing. They sue people.
It's happened many times.
Yeah, they've won many cases over this, and basically take either the profits or whatever from that farm or whatever that are trying to be organic. And it could be the other way. I would argue they could sue Monsanto for polluting their crops, organic crops with GMO bullshit or whatever, but it doesn't, because they don't have the money for the lawyers, and it goes the other way. Anyway, we're in a terrible situation as far as small scale farming. And if it's like, if they don't leave willingly that way, or if they don't leave because of the lawsuits or subsidies or some other thing, it's like eminent domain. Just fucking rip them out any goddamn way. Jesus Christ, it's awful.
Everything
I'm
in
mad.
the book.
I'm sorry,
Man.
this gets me.
They just throw everything in the book at him, and it's very sad. Like, that was a family farm that had been in his family for 3 generations.
Yep. And he was one of the ones that hasn't left yet and was fighting that fight, said no to multi-million-dollar offers from developers or whatever, and then gets ousted anyway this way. It makes me sick, dude.
It's sickening. All right. Well, let's move on to highlight the best kind of cops that there can possibly be.
Is it sarcasm, or is this actually a good story?
No. This is the best kind of cop that.
Oh, cool. Okay. I need an uplift here. Yeah.
It is a hologram police officer to fight crime. South Korea deploys hologram police officer to fight crime, and it's working. Here's a little glimpse.
Hilarious.
Here's a glimpse of this hologram police officer.
안녕하세요. 서울중구경찰서입니다. 서울중구경찰서는 우선과 함께 안전한. 안녕하세요. 서울중구경찰서입니다.
Yeah. Okay.
So they claim it's working. They claim that crime in this park has gone down at night.
Yeah, because the cops aren't there shooting people. Because the holograms can't.
This is South Korea, not America.
This is South Korea, not America. I don't know what their police situation is like.
I'm kidding,
I imagine In the United States, if you deployed a hologram police officer, that thing would be graffitied in about negative 5 seconds.
Yeah, it would never it would never work in
A
America.
mustache and a dick in his mouth immediately. I mean, give it 6 hours. Like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, things that would work other places that won't work in America. This is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
The amount of rocks that would be thrown through this dumb piece of glass, human-shaped glass. Like,
Couldn't do it here.
what a stupid idea.
It would probably be stolen here.
But it is the best kind of cop there is. Let's be
Fair
very clear about that. The cop that isn't actually there is the best kind of cop.
I think a hologram cop, it might be able to beat the time of intervening in situations like school shootings and in Nevada or whatever. Like, I think it's faster, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to vote for the hologram cop.
Yeah, I'm wondering when they're going to try.
Was the one that
Uvalde, Texas.
they were like, it took like 40 minutes or an hour because they were like, oh, I don't know, I was scared, it was dangerous, and they're like, but this is your job. Like, it's like you weren't a fucking someone at Subway working, making sandwiches that was like, well, I didn't know if I should intervene. Like, you are the cop. Like, anyway, I'm sorry.
I wonder what about this. I wonder what about that, because like there's some science in, like, if you're about to be attacked by somebody, if you tell them your name, there's something about that personalizing it that makes them less likely to attack you.
Silicon Valley, the scene where they all just start yelling their name.
They did this in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene was hilarious. But that's actually a real study. Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, right.
Where if you humanize yourself, and so I'm wondering if there actually is some type of application for this kind of cop where it's like, okay, I know that's not a real person, but something about it being there, something about the presence even a fake police car will make you slow down initially until you realize
the
it's
red
not
light or the blue light that blinks when you're going too fast on the thing. That I was going to bring that up. That sometimes can actually work, but a hologram feels silly. But
so I don't know. There is something to it where I don't think it would work with cops in a lot of places, but I think if you put a local person that people loved,
or the Minority Report, where it's like AI is smart enough to, like, it sees your face and it knows who you and it profiles you and it knows everything about you, and there's specified ads as you're walking through the mall for you and your face is on it or whatever. Like, if you had a hologram cop kind of thing that was actually more just like, it was a picture of your mom being like, I'm disappointed in you for littering or whatever, like, then that might work. Like, that
is hilarious. That would be the funniest form of mass surveillance ever.
Yeah,
that would be so stinking good. Yeah,
but we don't do that with it.
I like that application. I don't know, Nick. What do you think? Any form of a hologram security is going to work in a park?
No.
I love it. Hell no. Yeah,
that's so good. Yeah, I don't know. I could see instances where it could be slightly beneficial, especially if you can interact with it.
Honestly, the level of things that people confide in Chat GPT and Gemini or whatever, like, I wouldn't have agreed 10 years ago, and now that I've seen this, I'm like, no, I think you're right, unfortunately. But
does this hologram actually do anything, or is it just like
it just talks?
It issues tickets. Yeah.
Gnome says a cop pulled a gun on another cop for microwaving fish in the break room. Which cop was good? Cheddar Cheese says the one microwaving fish was harassing a police officer, so I think he's better.
That is hilarious.
Dude, that's so stinking funny.
Oh my god.
Did that actually happen? Can somebody send me a video of that?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a video of that, but I saw that story floating somewhere.
There's like a few foods that are like banned on planes, and like one of them is like that tin of like the rotten fish stuff, what is it, pastrami or not, what the hell is it, strom something, it's like fermented fish. Anyway, it's like illegal on planes because it smells so horrendous.
Hallelujah.
Yeah
it's like hard-boiled eggs should be banned.
Are you talking like that like the Icelandic
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
Oh,
like
dude.
fermented rotten shark.
It's
I thought
surströmming.
I thought it was
Anyway.
fermented rotten whale.
They
No, it's
have
Greenland shark.
Greenland shark, and then some of them are like herring or some fish or whatever. But I think it's pretty classically Greenland shark.
Yeah, it's the Greenland shark, which would be toxic to eat fresh, so they bury it and ferment it. And I don't know who came up with that.
Dig it up
and
in
was
the
like, this
fucking
works.
spring, and then someone found out that it was fine. How do you find this out? Like, and what brave soul was like, I'm gonna eat that? Like,
Somebody who was dying of starvation.
someone who was on the brink, yeah. And they were like, "Hey, I made it! Like, I got the shits, but I made it!" Like, that's true.
Yeah, that's nasty. All right. I think, y'all, we're not going to have normal trivia tonight. We're going to have trivia. But Jake forgot to make it because Zane's not here. So
it's what number is Jake thinking trivia? Yeah.
no, there's
Oh,
actual
okay.
trivia. But we're going to get to it right now.
That is the stupidest song.
You're the stupidest song.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Welcome to Libation Nation Trivia. We do not have regular trivia tonight. It's going to be a series of 20 questions, all right in a row, no rounds. It's going to be winner takes it, and
Irregular.
yours truly can also play because these are questions that I don't know the answer to.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we're all
Randomized.
playing this round, and
You could have put a camera on Nikki and had her ask the trivia questions.
Wow.
yeah, no, she needs to be driving. So, all right, here we go. We have first question: who wrote the song "All Along the Watchtower"? Is it Carlos Santana, Bob Dylan, Dion DiMucci, or Simon and Garfunkel?
It would have been clever if they put any of the 13 bands that covered it as an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's been covered many, many, many times.
I have no idea who wrote it.
I mean, most
I do,
famously, I would say is probably Hendrix, but
That was the most famous cover. Yeah,
All right, I have my answer. Alden, do you have yours?
it's Bob Dylan.
Yours is Bob Dylan.
It's Bob Dylan.
Bob
Bob
Dylan.
Dylan. I was going to guess Santana.
It's not Santana.
Well, I have to put it anyway because that's my guess.
Does
don't
it
know
tell
what-
you?
It's
The
supposed
answer?
to. I don't know what just happened.
Generating answer. Or does it tell you at the end?
What the heck?
Maybe it tells you at the end.
okay.
No.
Well, the answer was Bob Dylan.
Yeah, the
so-
answer is Bob Dylan, but
No.
we can move on.
All right. The answer was Bob Dylan. I'll give Alden a
I can
point,
here. I'll look it up.
Nick a point. There we go. Okay. The lyrics to the 19th century song say, "Shoe fly, don't bother me." But what is a shoe fly pie?
Ew. I looked it up. It's Bob Dylan, but
Okay.
I didn't need to. But I
I
did.
believe you. I believe you. Actually, I'm going to do a question count down here. So this is question 2. Okay. The lyrics to the 19th century song say, "Shoe fly, don't bother me." But what is a shoe fly pie?
What the hell is a scrapple?
I don't know. Scrapple pie? No idea what that is.
I'm inclined to answer that just because I don't know what it is.
All right. My answer is molasses, crumb cake, baked
That's
in
what
pie
I'm-
crust.
That's what I said.
I'm going to go
It
with
might be a scrapple pie, though.
I don't know what scrapple is, but I'm going to go with molasses as well.
Oh, we got
We all got it? So then no one's
Points.
got it.
Points all around.
Yeah.
points.
Wait, did the
all
audience
around.
get it though?
The audience hasn't answered yet, which is really bizarre. I'm wondering if they're super far behind now.
I wonder if they're even if anyone's actually watching us tonight.
We have,
Molasses?
we have a bunch of people watching.
Sounded like it looked like dark bits, like a fly. That's why I went with that. But
Yeah.
what the hell is a scrapple though? That's trivia
All
within
right.
trivia.
The famous quote, "To be or not to be," that is the question, is from which Shakespearean play? My guess is Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Yeah, Hamlet.
We are correct.
Yeah. We all went to high school.
Yep.
Tech. I hate it when a 18-wheeler passes going the opposite direction.
I saw it rock the van, yeah.
It scares the crap out of me every time. Who played Lamont on Sanford and Son?
What the fuck is Sanford and Son?
It's an old TV show.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Well, this is going to be a total guess.
It's a very famous old TV show. My guess is Nathaniel Taylor.
I've just put Nate because that's shorthand for the same.
I said Demond Wilson.
All right, let's see.
Nathaniel.
It was Demond Wilson.
Damn it! Who the fuck is that?
No,
I don't know, but it sounded like a good. I liked Whitman Mayo
God
also
damn
as
it.
an answer.
I like mayonnaise, but not that much.
All right. The famous quote to
We
There
did
it
I
said
did
that.
that one.
this thing really doesn't have very many free answers, huh?
that. We're already repeating answers.
Which highly paid virtuoso entertainer adorned his piano with a lavish candelabrum during his concert performances?
I got an answer.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna have a guess.
All right. My guess is Liberace.
Same. Yeah. Okay. I know that line from Austin Powers, and he's like, and I didn't know Liberace was gay. Like, who saw that coming? You know.
The audience finally got one.
This one?
One of the most famous ships of World War II, she was most commonly referred to as Big E.
Not easy.
All right.
I could be confusing this with Star Trek, but I'm gonna go Enterprise.
I said Enterprise as well, but I think that's,
I'm
I
saying
think the
Edward.
Enterprise is later.
I'm saying Edward. It was the Enterprise.
Yeah, it's not just Star Trek. All right. I was like, you know, when you like are doubting yourself because there's like that second thing that also shares it.
Well, it just feels like Enterprise was more newer than that, but
Oh, I have no idea.
Who was the female star of the unsinkable Molly Brown? Never even heard of this movie. I have heard of all these actresses, though.
Is that's funny. That's another ship related thing, because isn't that the one from the Titanic or whatever?
I have no idea. All right, I have my guess.
I've got a guess.
My guess is Jane Fonda.
I almost did that.
What I said as well.
I went Hepburn, but I was like, I feel like I would have.
It was Debbie Reynolds.
Nobody gets it.
I went with names that I knew, but what I should have done was gone with names I don't know because I didn't recognize the role, right?
Libation Nation got it.
Ah.
Which of the following countries is not a member of NATO? I have my answer.
I have a answer.
All right. Australia.
Oh, really? I put Norway, but
Norway?
It's Norway?
is it?
How is Australia part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization? It is. It's Australia. Suck it. Suck it, you turds.
You got me excited. I thought I got it right, but I'm an idiot.
Because my argument would have been because Australia is still a Commonwealth country under King Chucky III.
That's fair. What is the name of the 1989 psychological thriller starring Al Pacino and Ellen Barkin that shares its title with a 1959 #1 song by Phil Phillips? Wow, I don't know any of these movies.
Hill of Beans. That sounds
A Hill of
dramatic.
Beans.
You got to go with what you don't know, and that sounds so absurd. It might be right.
All right, I have my
It's
guess.
not my guess, though.
My guess is River of Tears.
That was my guess.
What I said.
We all went River of Tears. It's Hill
The
of
audi-
Beans.
The audience guesses Sea of Love. It was Sea of Love.
Damn it. Second guess. What do you do?
Yeah, it was one or the other.
River
That
of
was just-
Sea.
It's too stupid of a name.
It wasn't Hill of Beans? Damn.
Next question. Question number 11. Can you show us just how sharp you are by telling us which of these you are most likely to find inside a scabbard? Yes, I can.
Yeah. Are we good?
Dog.
I think we're good.
All right.
gonna
My
find
guess
a
is
dog.
dagger.
Yeah,
Dagger.
obviously. I found a dog in my scabbard. Jesus.
Oh, goodness.
How'd he get there? Maybe a hot dog.
Everyone got that one. I'm barely beating the audience. This sucks.
You might be able to squeeze a hot dog into a
They
scabbard.
didn't even come in until like question 4.
And they're winning, yeah.
Curling. How many players does a team have on the ice during a standard curling game at the Olympic Winter Games?
Wait. The whole team?
The whole
How
team on
many
the
players
ice.
does the team have on the ice during a standard curling game? I have my guess.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. My guess is 4.
Yeah.
I said 5.
It is 4.
Yeah. I remember there's a thrower, 2 scrubbers, and some bitch in the back doing nothing. I don't know. Like, that's basically, I don't know what the fourth one is, but.
That is very true.
What do they call is it scrubbing? What do you call the little, this motion, the jerk off?
Curling. I don't friggin' know.
Maybe it is curling. That would make sense.
I think every motion in that is called curling. The shooter's curling, the scrubbers are curling, the
It's
runner
jerker.
is curling.
Yeah.
Pink's album, The Truth About Love, contains
Oh,
a
God.
song whose words are somewhat of a palindrome. Which one is it?
Somewhat of a palindrome? What the fuck does that even mean?
Just look at the titles and come up with it. I'm going with what I'm reading.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
I've got it.
The one with R, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we all we are? What is she, a pirate? Are we all we are? I don't know.
That is a terrible song name.
Are we all we are?
It's getting close. All right. Louise Fletcher played the role of Nurse Ratched in which 1975 film? Louise Fletcher played the role of Nurse Ratched in which 1975
the nurse that gets eaten by the shark, obviously.
Oh.
This one is.
All right. Got my
even
guess.
just through context, you
I've
could
got
get
a
it.
guess.
Yeah. Well, I know it. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but
Yeah, that's what I says.
it's a great movie. Great book too, actually.
That gum, y'all.
Jake, did you get that one?
Everyone got that one.
Oh, okay.
He didn't tell us, so he's just going
The
along.
one I click on is mine.
I've not been even clocking that. Oh god, I've not been cuckoo clocking it.
What Hall of Fame pitcher, nicknamed Doc, split his career between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Philadelphia Phillies?
I don't know. You don't have Bugs Bunny as an option here, so I won't get it.
I know what it is.
I got a concept.
Alden.
Tom.
Yours is Tom Glavine.
Yeah.
Nick.
Holiday.
Halliday it is.
It's
Doc
fucking.
Holliday, you dingus.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Pay
I should've
attention.
put that together. I just give up when I get baseball, and so I don't even look for context clues with baseball questions.
5 questions left. Sorry, forgot to update that one. Starring Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, and John Savage, which 1978 movie features an intense scene involving a group of American POWs being forced to play Russian roulette?
It
This
is a
movie
mess
is
up.
something else.
Yeah. It's a
I
hard-
watched this while hungover, and it was just like the most depressing afternoon.
Dude, that is not a good hangover movie. That is a depressing and
It
like,
was not a good choice.
That is awful. Why did you?
I'll kill
subject-
time for a second. I got to go sit down.
Okay, well, let's talk about not Deer Hunter because clearly that's not the answer. Like,
Watercraft.
let's
I see that.
go Full Metal Jacket, I guess. Just another great movie on this list. But
Yeah, it's also not one to watch when you're hungover.
no, that's That's also a hard movie to watch. Most of Kubrick's stuff is like, there's some of my favorite movies, but they're also
I enjoy
ones that
Kubrick.
I have to be in the mood for them because some of them are just really rough. I can I don't know. I can watch The Shining like whenever, I guess, but but some of it's pretty heavy, honestly.
Yeah.
But he's like my favorite director of all time. So
And yeah, the Deer Hunter, which the American scenes were filmed in the Pittsburgh area.
oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, down in Clairton.
That's cool. They filmed Deliverance where I'm at. Yeah, very different.
I mean, they filmed Mothman Prophecies up a little bit north from where I'm from.
That's true. That one I did know actually, but
up in Katanning.
I used to go visit my grandpa out like toward like Clayton, Georgia, like a little bit like, north central or east of Georgia. And every time I would go up, it's like he would either take us to go, shoot guns on, this mountain over there or whatever, or we would go to the place where they filmed Deliverance on the river. Like it was just like the two things to do out there. You either shoot guns or go to the river where they filmed Deliverance. Like, oh my God, that's my childhood.
Yeah, it's something, but yeah, I mean, we know the answer is Deer Hunter. I mean, we've seen the movie.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, that movie was.
What can I talk about? Deer Hunter.
That movie was fucking intense.
It really was. It was actually. It's pretty messed up. I feel like it was like 3 hours long, and it felt like it was 9 hours long, though.
It felt like 9 hours long. Yeah.
It was one of those movies where it's like, how would you rate it? And I was like, oh, dude, great movie. Do you want to watch it again? I'm like, no, never. I don't fucking want to watch that movie ever again in my life.
I mean, I'd maybe watch it when I wasn't hungover and could maybe process
I
it a
would
little
watch that
better.
movie to show someone who hadn't seen it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, I would sit down and watch it with someone. But it's like, it's one of those movies. It's like, it's so heavy and it's like emotionally heavy and it's like long and drawn out. And it's like a workout to watch that movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. There's movies that I love.
I mean, good movie. It was great, but like
so good.
Oh yeah, it was.
I watched
the fact that it could bring those emotions into it, kind of really speaks to the movie itself.
It does what it set out to do. It really did. Yeah. Another movie that fits the bill for that is like Parasite. I don't know if you saw that movie. I
have not.
The South Korean movie. That movie was so good, but I was so anxious the whole movie watching it. Like it was just really uncomfortable to watch as it plays out and people make these awful decisions and you're like, no, don't do that. Like, I don't know. It was one of those ones where it was like a masterpiece. It was like perfect.
Were you screaming at the screen, Alden?
It was one of those ones where I was like, I paused it. I'm like, I need a drink. Like I'm going to get a beer like midway through the movie because I just like need a break from the damn movie. But also, again, I would say like a perfect film. Like it's so good, but I don't want to watch it again. Like it was awful.
Everything good, Jake?
Dude.
Did you get pulled over by a hologram cop?
Laws are crazy. We had to stop at a watercraft washing station inspect because of mussels.
Yes, the zebra mussels.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You don't. Yeah, they want to make sure they're not. Yeah, that's so funny.
Okay, so they're washing the boat right now.
Is it the zebra mussel? Did they say?
Yeah, it's the zebra mussel.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see.
That was not a trivia question.
I want to say Platoon.
It's Deer Hunter, you idiot.
Yeah, it's Deer Hunter.
We just spent the whole time talking.
Yeah, while you were gone, Alden and I were discussing Deer Hunter.
Oh God, I live for the moments I can call Jake an idiot.
I don't know. I'm surprised you don't know Deer Hunter, Jake.
Dude, I don't know.
I'm surprised you don't know Platoon to know that it's not Platoon. Is what
I can't. Dude, I can't remember anything right now. I'm a little motion sick.
Fair enough.
Which of these treatments for pain is the only one that involves drugs? Cognitive behavioral therapy, spinal cord stimulation, NSAID, NSAIDs?
It's AIDS.
Deep brain stimulation.
I've got an answer.
I mean, I don't know. I'm going to guess NSAIDs.
It's AIDS.
That's what I said.
It's AIDS.
Okay. You are correct. How about that?
Yeah, every other one they said stimulation or therapy, and I'm like, that is literally the exact, like, it tells you in the name it's not a fucking drug, so of course it just has to be the AIDS one, just by ruling it out. Like,
Cheddar
cognitive
cheese.
behavioral therapy, really? Like,
Cheddar cheese says, as a Michigander, I do take the muscle shit seriously. Fair
no,
enough.
for real. Like, they're invasive as hell, and if they like fucking blow up somewhere, they can just wreak havoc. They clog like water lines and sewage lines, and they just like take over local population. It's actually a pretty nasty invasive species.
Okay. Forming part of the Bavarian crown for over 100 years, what was the Der Blau Wittelsbacher?
I mean, see, this is stupid because they give it away with the translation, unless this is like, you know, absolutely.
I mean, yeah, that's how I'm gonna read it. But like, you know, if you don't know any German, you might not be able to get this. But
I don't know any German.
I took German for 3 years, so I know zero German.
I'm gonna say Blue Diamond.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
it's Blaue. Yeah, it's fucking.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Suck it. I got it right, and none of y'all did.
Hey, 3 years of German paying off, and everyone else got it. Like,
All right. So I need Nick.
Sure,
to
I
miss
did
two
a little bit of
questions.
studying of German on my own, so
yeah.
I need Nick
for
to miss
1
2
point.
questions and me to get them both right. So here we go. What Handy Adams Family character links to a 1982 John Carpenter film, which had a prequel of the same name released in 2011? No friggin' clue. I'm gonna say Thing.
That's what I said. Thing.
Lurch.
I don't think it was Lurch.
It was Thing.
Damn
Suck
it.
a butt.
I was never really an Addams Family fan.
Me neither. I hated
Neither
it.
was I. But
I just know the song.
the Thing was
Final question, y'all. With which type of hat would you associate the fictional detective Sherlock Holmes?
I thought that was going to say Deer Hunter again.
All right, I have my guess.
So what's Lurch from?
Adam's Family.
Adam's Family. Yeah.
Oh, so it is also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's someone else? Oh, well, that's fucking annoying. God damn it.
All right, I have my answer.
So do I.
Same.
Trilby.
Same.
Trilby.
Trilby.
Incorrect. It's the Deer Stalker.
I was
Deer Hunter
highly
hat.
considering that, but then I thought, no, English
a
people
Trilby
don't
hat?
stalk deer. They're a bunch of pussies.
What's a Trilby hat?
Well, with that being said, Dadgum Nick takes the cake,
Of
and
course.
everything sucks.
Well,
All right.
Flexing
All right.
on that.
We've got basically 1 or 2 more topics left for the evening. As you
Still
can
no
see
Steven?
over there. Still no Steven. He must have gotten caught up doing his.
Yeah, he posted like right before that he was cleared to get on.
Yeah,
So I
something must
wonder
have
where
happened,
he
man.
is.
Kids, you know, you just
Yeah,
you never
it's
can tell.
disappointing. Because I think there was a you know, in this next topic, you know, his name would at least be fun to go along with it.
Yeah, fair. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about the primaries that happened yesterday. So last week we had a candidate, Senate candidate on from Montana, Tom Jandron. He lost his primary in an open primary election in Montana. He lost the Libertarian primary to a non-Libertarian.
Oh, damn.
Because we have open primaries in Montana, so people can run as whatever they want.
Or run for whatever, yeah.
And yes, Hannah, you just missed trivia, and the audience did not win.
It was fake trivia though that Jake
Yeah,
didn't even bother to
honestly,
put together.
You're
Shut
better
up.
off. It was
Y'all
sad.
are such jackwads. Goodness
bad.
gracious! Immediately thrown under the bus.
So Montana has primaries that anyone can run in for, even for third parties.
Yep. And so
That sucks.
a guy named
That
Kyle
sucks.
Austin won it, and he is an idiot. He came to
Kyle or Pyle?
Kyle. He came to the Libertarian Convention for Montana, and we had a town hall with him to try to suss him out to see if we would support him over Tom. He had like not one single libertarian ideal. Like he didn't know anything about the platform. He was terrible.
One wonders why
Are the-
he ran as libertarian.
Are
Because
the
he lost as a
positions you can-
Republican.
Oh, we talked about this guy.
Yeah.
On the
With-
primary
Oh.
in Montana, can anyone vote for any race, or is it the race you're registered,
Is
the
it only
party
white
you're
people?
registered to?
That is such a good question.
Hopefully you don't mean mine.
I don't know, actually.
Right, because in Pennsylvania, right? Because in Pennsylvania, major parties have, primaries. Minor parties control their ballot line,
Mhm.
and political bodies, anyone can petition to get on those lines. So we're a minor party here, so we decide who's on the ballot
Right.
through whatever processes we have internally. Generally convention or the counties or whatever.
Yeah.
But if we were in the primaries are only open to registered Democrats and Republicans. So we're paying for, these private organizations to have their selection process instead of, that's a whole different story. But at least like you have to be registered to the party in order to vote in their primary here.
Got it.
I
Yeah,
need
that
more
makes sense.
alcohol if we're going to talk this deep into politics.
No, we're not.
I was just curious how it worked there, because that sucks that you can't control the line. But usually what you get is, like, especially in Pennsylvania, being that you have to be registered to it. The major parties will send mailers and stuff like that to their voters who are there of who they endorsed, and get people to the polls to pass out their endorsed slate for things
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. Well, one thing this actually helps with is the Montana Libertarian Party is currently trying to get the law changed and sue the state basically in order to change this. And so this adds more proof and evidence that this system doesn't work, because somebody representing the Libertarian Party is not a libertarian at all and holds no actual libertarian values. And so it has a silver lining to it, in that we could actually win something out of this. So that could be helpful. We'll see how it goes in court, but so that's the only thing I'm happy about at this point.
In order to really control that, you'd have to, as a party, control a whole get out the vote operation to get the vote for your people that you endorsed. That would be an expensive solution too. It's not an easy one, but it's probably easier than petitioning. But having no say is just like, no, we deserve a say in what our organization, who represents our organization, and technically so do Democrats and Republicans.
Mm-hmm. Technically.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be the taxpayers paying for the primaries on this and then telling the organization what you have to do. It should be
I agree.
up to the organization to pay for the primary to do it by that process, or select it a different way. But that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Yeah. So that's what happened. There are a few other primaries around the United States. One of them was the mayor election. There we go. Mayor election results. Here's what happened there. Spencer Pratt, who I think a lot of people wanted to win around the nation, didn't quite make it in. He was a bizarre candidate. He used to be a reality TV star on, if you ever see the show, I think it was The Hills.
There's something like that.
The
I
hills
think.
have eyes.
I never saw it, but
basically,
yeah, it was like one of those MTV reality show type things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It was when I was in high school, and so it was a big deal for my dumb friends.
My dumb friends.
But yeah, so he
Have you
ran.
seen the show My Dumb Friends?
Yeah, it's what I do on here every single week.
So when it says one additional candidate will advance, because California is a top 2 in the primary, so
That's what confuses me. So is that the case that he will advance?
That's in my reading what should happen.
That's what I
I'm
thought
not-
too. But
I
I
think
don't know.
why they're not declaring it is because they're saying 66% of votes counted.
Oh,
They probably
okay.
can't get
Oh,
it in, but
can't
if those numbers hold in that order, then he should be head on head, head to head in the general.
Right.
And if everyone who voted against Bass, goes to him, or a big majority, there's a good chance that maybe he'll win, which would be
Gotcha.
something.
That would be something. For governor, there we go. We got Steve Hilton at the top.
Which is why he's not here.
Yeah, he's actually going to be the governor of California.
He's busy.
Steve Hilton, Xavier Becerra, and Tom Steyer.
I can't
are
believe they have
top
fucking
three.
Becerra. I can't believe fucking Becerra is running. I mean, I guess it makes sense being it's California.
Yeah.
I believe
Who the
he's
hell
the
Xavier Becerra.
he's I believe the attorney general out there. So like I've seen his name a lot with
How the hell do you know that?
with like gun lawsuits.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
That's
And-
how I know the name.
Okay.
So that one's interesting.
Infamous then, yeah.
Yeah. We had a few others here in Montana. None of them turned out well. So Tom Jandron lost 47 to 53.
Not by a lot. Okay.
Not by a lot. Tony Rosales, who is a libertarian running as a Republican, lost 58 to 42 to
That
somebody
sucks.
whose husband controls most of the town. So that's interesting.
Oh, well.
Kevin lost. Kevin Leatherbarrow, who's been on
That's
the
a
show
name
before,
we know. Yeah,
Part of
that's a name I know.
part of the Cascade Effect.
Oh,
Jeremy
that's right.
Trebus lost, who he public service commissioner, who he was already a state rep, which was interesting that he lost by such a wide margin because he did good stuff for us in the
Well, they don't like the primaries. They don't like
Sure.
to select people who do good stuff. They like to select people who
That's
don't do
true.
shit.
and then Drew Coaster won the primary against nobody, so she will be in representing District 41 in Montana, which is great.
So the primary, so the general's not going to be contested.
The
in that
general
one.
is going to be contested. There's one Democrat.
Okay.
This just shows the Libertarian.
Where's District 41?
It's
Is
in
that
Helena.
Bozeman?
No, it's Helena.
You should be able to pull that off in Helena, maybe.
Dude, it's
some
interesting because
boots on
there's
the
no
ground.
Republican running, which is why we ran somebody as a Libertarian.
You might be able to get that. Like if you were saying it was Bozeman, I'd be like, Democrats probably going to win that. But
Yeah.
I would
No,
assume
it's-
you might be able to pull that if you get some boots on the ground there and knock some doors.
Dude, I made some sick campaign videos for her, so
I
hopefully
mean,
that will-
that's how Marshall Burt in Wyoming got elected a couple of years back. Was
Yeah.
that like for some reason there was no Republican on the primary and he got inserted there against the Democrat, and people were like, "I'm not voting for the Democrat," and he won. And then when re-election came around, the Republicans wised up and put someone on the ballot, and he got smoked.
Yeah, it's a legit strategy to try it that way. So
How many signatures do you need signatures to get on the ballot in the primary, or what was the process for that?
I don't think you need signatures. If you do, it's like 10.
You just okay, that's not bad, because I was just going to say
You
in
just need enough
Pennsylvania.
people to acknowledge you're like a real person.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, it's
Pennsylvania,
so
like in Pennsylvania, like we don't even run for state senate because the numbers are almost as high as what it takes to run for Congress, and the run for Congress is more signatures than it takes for a governor race, for a statewide race.
Wow.
That's
That's the issue we're having right now. Is I don't know, is Jamie Remy, who I don't know if you met at convention, but she spoke before Scott gave his speech. She introduced him.
Yeah.
And then she spoke right before Joe Kent at Rage Against the War Machine.
Nice.
And she needs like 5,100 signatures to get on the ballot in Congressional District 1. And for us to get statewide access, we need 5,000 signatures.
See, 5,000 is a big number. I feel like 10 is like the signature equivalent of like, check this box to prove you're a human on a website, you know, like where it's just like, wow, okay, why did I even need to do this? Or
10,
like, are you 18?
Hang
like,
on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Oh, sure, yeah.
10 signatures for us in Pennsylvania is like the minimum count for a race. So when we're running local,
right, yeah.
if like the way it maths, and how it's calculated, how many signatures you need. If the calculation is below 10, it defaults to 10.
Oh, that's
so
weird.
Like if you,
so
if
even
you
if
well,
you 6, you get 10. Like
no, like if because there's a formula you have to follow based off of a certain percentage of the winning candidate in the previous go arounds votes. If that number works out to be less than 10, then you need 10 signatures. Which
right. Okay.
is
so the minimum. Okay, I got you. Yeah,
that's the minimum signatures for a race for small towns and stuff.
That's fine. That's like
it would be like
10 people. 10. It's fine. Like it's
just walk your street and ask your neighbors. Like, it's
whatever,
not that hard.
No, 10 is go to the gas station. You'll get 10. But it's annoying when it's like, oh, you want to run for like some, like, I don't know, like the soil and water district or whatever. It's like you need 10,000. You're like, what the fuck? Go fuck yourself with this 10,000 bullshit. It's insane. Yeah.
Yep. All right, y'all. Let's move on because we're gonna talk more about this with the next segment as well. So let's go.
I am not fucking drunk.
Well, my teeth are blue.
Every pretty girl deserves to go to a ball.
This is everything about it's a clam. I love it.
I gotta be honest with you, I feel like I'm a little bit too drunk to stand up.
On Wiedersehen, asshole.
I'm drunk right now.
All right. Welcome to Drunkard of the Week, part of the show where we show somebody doing or saying something that can only be explained if they're drunk, but they're not. We had a few nominees this week, and the winner that I chose was this guy.
Oh, brilliant.
It's so good.
We want to be free to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
We want to get loaded. Yeah. And we want to have a good time.
Yes. Factory Phenom. Yes. I've seen that and it was so good.
Dude, that's so like he's just sipping tea and throwing 50-pound bags of seed.
If you can hold a beverage while you work, it's a good job. And if you can hold a beverage while you're doing a sport, then it's my favorite sport. Like that's why I like things like badminton and bullshit sports because I can hold a beer.
He has cheddar cheese. He has libations. You're darn right.
Yeah.
Yes, he fits the show perfectly. I think that guy is about the best factory worker I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just chill. Like
I would say that conveyor belt's coming off a little high, that he, like it's coming pretty high off the ground, that he can just move his head and catch it on his shoulder.
I wouldn't be surprised if this man has enough clout that he told them, you need to build a higher conveyor belt. We need the best conveyor belt in the world. It needs to be high. I'll show you why, and then just like,
we need the best. You got to give me the best.
I would think most people, you'd want it, almost like torso level to catch it and throw the bag where it needs to go.
And he's telling you, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Unless this is legitimately a technique they teach.
I doubt that's a technique. That seems like
they will be teaching
a lot of codes that they make.
It'll be in factory textbooks in 5 years. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So our final topic of the night is similar to the primary season, which is thoughts on libertarian candidates running for office. And we've touched on it before with different episodes and different topics, but something that I've noticed, especially in Georgia, this happened in Georgia every single time. the party would get super excited that we got somebody on every single race across the state. We filled the ballot with libertarian candidates for people to vote for. And then those people would receive no votes. And we'd spend money and time and resources on these campaigns, and they would amount to almost nothing, because there's really only one race in a non-midterm that gets a lot of attention, and that's the governor's race. Other than that, in a federal election, that's a whole different story. But in statewide races, they don't often get a ton of attention. Like, no one cares who the ag secretary is going to be, you know.
That's because libertarianism needs like a marketing team in general. I want there to be like campaigns for, like, if you don't know the name of the person, don't vote for D, don't vote for R, like vote for L. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's because not enough people even know what the fuck libertarianism is. I don't know.
You know what? You describing it that way, you know what I just realized? You're literally asking someone to choose to take an L.
That's a good slogan. Like, you could brand that. You should be on the market.
Oh, we should change the name to the Libertarian Party.
Just take a W. Yeah, the Libertarians.
The Wibers. Yeah.
Take it the W. Much easier marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Much easier. So this happened here in Montana. It's a little different, but this happened in Georgia all the time, and it happens in other states, and it happens in federal races where we spend a ton of time, energy, and resources running people for things like president, like Chase Oliver running for president, and somehow his name became less known during the election, and somehow we got half the percentage that we normally get, or less than. He got,
to be fair,
pretty low. Yeah.
If I want to go into it, it's a whole lot of it is coming the Wiggertarian. Seconded. So a lot of what it comes down to, especially on, like, let's say the marquee races, is really people's feeling about the top candidates in that race, right? So I mean, people who lean left are voting Democrat no matter what. They vote block. They hold that line. Trump did a good job in 24 with trying to build a coalition and cross boundaries.
Yeah,
and right, he made a great effort, and he sounded pretty good at the time on it. And a lot of people said, okay, this is worth the risk. I'm looking at what he's gone through on this, and I'm thinking maybe he's seen something now, and he won't run again. He's going to just come in like a wrecking ball and do a whole and actually hold to some of his word there. And he did. I mean, he released Ross and stuff, but in 2016, it was a different case where, like, nobody liked Hillary. People didn't like Hillary. People didn't like Trump. And so Gary Johnson, who at least had a name and like
that's the last time I voted
as a former governor, he was able to pull it off. Now Chase Oliver, like, I don't know how much you realize it, because in Pennsylvania, being like the swingiest of swing states, and in Georgia, you probably saw it a little bit too, because Georgia was in play. But like Pennsylvania was known as like the swingiest of swing states.
The swingiest.
Yeah, like
this should be. Yeah.
I mean, I think we're the only state right now with a divided legislature. One house is Democrat, one house is Republican.
Oh wow, okay,
like,
that's an interesting factoid there.
It's right, like we are basically right down the middle, swing one way or the other
on the line. I remember this was like in the I don't know, 2000 Mules situation. I don't know if you watched that or whatever. Like PA was like a big target area in like the whole swing
state, because it's so tight that a little bit can
nudge it the right way. Exactly.
Yeah. And I've believe me, I was on primary day, I was out trying to petition. I mean, I only went out for an hour or so, but I was talking to some lady who was telling me what she saw monitoring some of these election offices and what was going on there, and definitely sketchy and outside of the laws. But when you're when people are buying in and it's so swingy, they're not going to vote that marquee candidate. I mean, Chase Oliver in Pennsylvania pulled, I think, 32,000 votes, something like that.
In the whole state?
In the whole state.
Wow.
I pulled nearly 100,000 votes running for treasurer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. That's interesting as like a comparison.
I was like 99,000 votes and some change or something. Like I was
dang
right there at 100,000 votes.
That is actually seriously one that's impressive on your part. And then, but I feel like equally that's like shining a light on how poorly Chase went like in Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the other thing is that Chase was a tool of both sides in Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
Right. So, again, I don't know how many people in Pennsylvania know this, because there was a whole thing there where a couple guys tried to make a maneuver with the RFK guys to ensure that our governor and the rest of the statewide candidates got ballot access, and they were going to unleash the RFK army with our petitions and do that. Well, that word got out, and a meeting happened between someone high up whose name you'd probably recognize within the Trump orbit. And basically, the deal came down to, hey, if you keep Chase Oliver, actually, it wasn't even keep Chase Oliver on the ballot, but don't ditch Chase Oliver and go to RFK. But the preference from the Trump campaign was to keep Chase Oliver on the ballot.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And to solidify that, they paid,
because they were less afraid.
They paid
of
several
poll votes.
They paid several tens of thousands of dollars to petitioners to get petitions for us in the last couple of weeks of the race, because we didn't end up, like, we called a meeting to discuss this, and enough people showed up that freaked the fuck out about it that they just declared, no, there's no meeting going on. There's no special meeting. There's nothing to discuss, and just adjourned it.
Okay.
And so nobody was informed that this was what was going on. So
is it because they were more afraid of RFK pulling votes from the Republican Party than Chase, because Chase is like less threatening or whatever?
Right. They were afraid of RFK if he was on the ballot with our support that would boost our votes to go towards RFK, that RFK would be seen as the coalition candidate, and that would hurt the Trump numbers. Meanwhile, they looked at Chase and said,
they were like, we're not worried. Yeah.
This dude ain't pulling anyone from
we're
us.
We're not worried about Chase.
So let's stick him on the ballot. So
yeah.
So they came in, and it might have been $30,000 or so they paid the petitioners in the last couple of weeks of petitioning.
Right.
They stick all of ours on the ballot, and then they also didn't challenge any of our candidates, and everyone else got challenged, and we got through the challenge period without any challenges filed. So I'm guessing word came down, hey, don't challenge these people. So that happened there. Meanwhile, the Democrats,
like, you didn't hear any of this directly, but like you were assuming that there was some kind of a
I don't know about the challenges. I'm assuming because every other party got challenged. Everyone else got challenged. I'm assuming nothing happened. I'm assuming there was probably some directive that came down saying, don't challenge here.
I didn't know how far that directive would go. I'm curious.
Well, like anyone could file a challenge, but like it's usually like people in the party apparatus do it. And I'm guessing the word came down through to not do it. I'm not sure. I don't have evidence that happened, but it just seemed odd that we skated through without,
based on how it went.
That there was nothing that came through at all.
Okay.
So, meanwhile, as we got closer to the election, you had ads put on by Democrat PACs claiming Chase Oliver is the most conservative person in the race, and every conservative should vote for Chase Oliver.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who was saying that? That's
the
crazy.
Democrats.
Do they know what a conservative is?
Yes, but they're trying to say, look, libertarian, that it's close enough to this. This is the candidate there. Vote for him if you don't like Trump, instead of just holding your nose and voting for Trump. And they tried to play that.
Weird. As like an angle, like as a card to kind of throw it a little or something.
Yeah, because they probably
weird.
were seeing the same thing that Chase Oliver would be pulling from them. So they were trying to probably scare anyone that might lean towards them from
So
going
they
that
were
way.
trying to pitch it as he was more right leaning to keep people from voting for him that were more left leaning, when I feel like Chase is not more right leaning as far as I've known, but
he's not. I mean, economically he's fine, I guess. But like, he buys into every cultural Marxist trope out there.
Yeah.
So, he is very left wing in his culture and his ideology.
That's I mean, I've met the man. I've talked to him a little bit, and the gist that I got from him would have, if anything, been more left leaning than right leaning. So it's funny to hear a campaign to pitch the idea that he's more right leaning, just to basically get people to, like, that were maybe on the fence of voting between him and left, to ditch that idea if that got to them as a message.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an interesting, just marketing ploy.
So I think, they were trying to maybe pull in any Republican who was like, any Republican who's saying, I'm not voting Trump. I refuse Trump, sort of, the never Trump types. They were trying to pitch them, here's this Chase Oliver, vote for him instead of holding your nose and voting Trump.
Oh, it's twofold. It's
twofold.
It's the left side that was on the fence, go to the left. It's the right side, go to Chase. Like, okay, interesting.
That's at least how I would see
and for
it working.
People that don't know Chase at all, like because he's not a very well-known name, this might work because
it's just some video clips, and they just make they just made some assertions. So.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's dirty, and that might work actually for people that don't already know Chase.
We see that, and we've gotten inquiries as far as grassroots disaffected voters who would like to see libertarian candidates in certain districts over the
I don't love that the libertarian candidate is just this pawn that's being like, go waste your vote on them. Like,
but that's what it is, and that's why the whole concept of the kingmaker strategy, which the Lulberts hate that concept, right? They're like, no, we just put libertarian candidates on, and then people vote for it, and then maybe one day they'll win, and then everything will be fine. And sorry, that's not that's
99.
Well, it's been 50 years and it hasn't worked yet. Yeah. So you've got to look at the game they're playing, and you've got to use
90 chess.
You've got to use the strengths where you are, and when you're in a swingy place where 1 or 2% of the vote can determine the outcome, you've got to go and say, hey, I'm in charge here because I'm determining where things go. You either give me what I want or fuck you, right? I mean, that's the play. Like, you're not going to get elected, but you're going to pull enough votes to probably cover the margin. And if that's the case, then you've got to say, hey,
what is he talking about? What is Zach talking about here?
We played the ads on 99.
The Chase Oliver ads on episode 99.
Oh. Episode 99 is apparently so long ago, it's been stricken from my memory at this point.
I mean, we've almost doubled the number of episodes since then, so we're only a couple weeks away from doubling that. So
yeah, exactly.
I've been rolling along.
I'm like the iPhone setting that, like, that text is a year old. We got rid of that. Like,
but I mean that's why Trump dealt in 24, right? Because his people looked at the numbers and saw that Jorgensen covered the spread in the swing states. So he came to the table and said, I see you covered this. Basically I'm seeing that you covered the spread. I need to win those votes. What do I need to say to win these votes? Right. That's how this kind of thing went down. That's how this kind of thing works.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, you're going to have to promise this and this and this, and that's going to, pull that off. And then, the fact that the Democrats weren't willing to deal and come back with their own thing means, all right, they get fucked. So yeah, I get people in their reaction of, no, we're a political party. We should be treated the exact same. But guess what? The American voter doesn't see it that way.
Yeah,
They
fair
see
enough.
Democrats and they see Republicans, and maybe they're willing to do it at a very local election because you're able to get out there and introduce yourself and like get in front of them and be like, "Hey, I'm just a normal person. I'm just
But
looking
on
to
the
do it
national
myself."
stage like
But on a
that,
national stage, when you're
Yeah.
talking $1 billion spent on a campaign, I mean, you can't compete on that. So the best
I
thing
think
you
it's
can
good
do
to
is use
hold that
best thing-
realistic approach. Like, yeah,
the
go
realistic approach is you've got to look at where your advantages are, use those advantages,
Yep.
and then show, okay, we are players at this table.
Yeah.
You have to respect what us and our voting bloc says, and you're going to have to pander to us and say the right things. And then once you say the right things, you're going to have to do the right things. Otherwise, fuck you.
I have a feeling it's better to be honest about that and aware of that and know where you stand at this point in the game than to be just idealistic and ignore.
Right, because if you want to get to the point of winning, you have to show that you're effective first. And if you're affecting the outcome, honestly affecting the outcome, saying, okay, we are going this way or that way with this, like we are either going to go with this or we're going to go against you, and we're going to either fuck you over or go with you, like your choice on
In a
this. Then
state like PA,
people start to understand, hey, these guys are political players,
right?
They're doing something, they are a threat to be taken seriously, and then you're taken seriously.
In a state like Pennsylvania, you could fuck shit up for either side depending on how you play it, because it is so close, and so you could use that as almost like a weird leverage element, you know.
If we flip one state house seat, and it's not going to happen, but we've put it out there, hey, one house seat, I'm trying to remember, I think it's from the Democrats, then it's deadlock even with both parties, and the Libertarian would be the odd man out and make the decision.
Oh shit,
dude! This is where
that's how tight it is.
There sort of needs to be far more coordination between the Libertarian National Committee and the states. Like not necessarily the LNC dictating what happens in these states, but find one race of consequence that we have a legit shot at winning, and put the vast majority of all resources from the party in that race.
This ties into what you started talking about many minutes ago, where we spread ourselves too thin and put all this money into all these, and then like no fruit like yielded from that. Like, and so
meanwhile, you've got
the point finally on that, like with that.
Meanwhile, in Montana, you've got a Libertarian candidate who's going to be head-to-head against the Democrat in a district that should be fairly Republican, that you can probably win if resources flow into that and get some general awareness there. And right, that should be a focus.
And it should be a focus. Look, Libertarians shouldn't just be focusing on the candidates that have the best values. That's great. Tons of Libertarians have great values. There are very few Libertarians who can give a speech or be in a debate and do well and impress and are actually good public speakers. This woman, Drew Coaster, Drew Coaster, running for this House seat in Montana, is phenomenal at all of that.
Did you say uncontested, or was it uncontested just at stage one here?
So the Republicans chose not to run anybody because they don't think they can win. And the Democrats, it came down to two people, and it was a tight race, and one of them barely won. So like even the Democrats are a little split on who they wanted to represent them.
That could be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
As an opponent where the base was undecided on who was better or whatever, that actually could be a good setup.
But also, someone like, let's say, Jeremy Todd, I think he comes off as a fairly impressive guy, a guy that, you can put in public, and he looks the part, and he comes off professional. And I mean, when I heard he was the one that they put up on that, I went, yeah, that's going to work. And then, I talked to him at convention there. He's
going to come on our show.
That's
well,
great.
let's hope
I
not.
hope
That's
I hope
disgusting.
I hooked him up with a guy from Pennsylvania who professionally petitions.
Nice.
Which I guess other people from Kentucky had approached this guy already and said, "Hey, how about this?" But I was like talking to Jeremy, and I'm like, "Hey, I saw him around here. Let me grab him." I went and grabbed him from watching the speeches at Enemy of the State Bash, and was like, "Hey, come here. Jeremy Todd wants to talk to you." And he ended up taking the week off. He was like, "Well, my car's at the Denver airport for $20 a day," and Jeremy Todd's like, "I've got the money to cover it. Don't fucking worry. I'll
$20
pay
a
you.
day.
He's like, I've got you. This is fine. And he ended up in a car to Kentucky at the end of the convention.
Okay.
And as you saw, they needed 400 signatures and turned in like 750 in 2 weeks of petitioning with convention
Love
in
it.
there.
40.
Love it.
Yeah.
So
that's great. More stuff like that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like high profile, where we actually have a good candidate who can speak in public, and a good candidate who could possibly win or use the libertarian name as a stepping stone to get what we want.
Yeah, I don't want to be so like naive or idealistic or whatever to think that you can run purely on principle and win. Like we have as libertarians like a serious fucking handicap, like a major fucking handicap. Yes. I think if anything, we need to think even more about charisma than the Republicans and the Democrats. Like
absolutely,
even more. And I
mean, you saw what fucking Ed Gowrine won with, just like billions of millions of dollars of APAC money. And the dude has the charisma of a fish
behind you. Like, then fucking of
course. He has no charisma. It's terrible. You like if you have tons of money and you don't ever show your face in public and don't ever show up to a debate and don't ever
you can have no charisma and not the people's best interest and be a slimy piece of shit and win. And we've seen it 100 times. Like it works, unfortunately, really well. That's why it's still fucking the system.
But the Libertarian Party has the amount of resources of the Democratic Party running a House district race in the middle of South Dakota.
It's a fucking PTA bake sale. Like it's compared to what the other parties have. It's so
some
sad.
quack is right here too. Good looks matters a concerning amount. You're right. You're so right.
Yeah, charismatic, I think, is both how you act and how you look. Unfortunately, like I do think being attractive is part of the package.
It is.
You don't have to be that attractive. You have to at least be normal looking.
You got to be just better than me. I feel like I'm like right in the middle, and it's like more than me. Like, please be more than me. Like,
I like Nick. You just got to be normal looking.
I mean, you got to be like at a certain level of normal.
Bar. We can't even hit the normal looking bar.
Right, like Jake's a pretty normal looking guy. Like, a little bit of trim up or whatever, and it would work out. Yeah. But like some of the freak shows that end up running, like at least like Chase did have a normal look to him, like
ish. Not since he got the goatee. Now it's horrendous.
Yeah, that's something. But when he was running, he at least presented professionally.
Agreed.
He knew how to do that, and he's
also a good public speaker.
Yes, he's trained up there.
Something about it didn't work, though. What do you guys think? Was it more the policy side, or was
it was
the fact that his whole campaign thought he was just going to go to every gay pride parade, and that he'd win that whole vote, and that would make the difference.
So one, I don't know how. Okay, so when it comes to the libertarian base versus, are we talking about appealing to more people like outside of like the classic libertarians, or are we talking about more tried and true libertarians? Because I feel like that doesn't matter so much to like tried and true libertarians, and the people that are looking for more of that kind of thing are probably already really strongly leaning left if they're voting for someone. So I don't know if that's like a strong angle to take.
It's a terrible angle to take, especially in the year that Trump is running, where all those people just hate Trump and are going to vote against Trump no matter what. They're not going to vote for the
anti-Trumps, which means
it was the hatred of Trump that fueled it, not in 2016 where everyone went, Trump and Hillary. No.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't do either of these. Let me throw it for Gary.
Yep.
I did that in 2016.
Yeah, Gary
voted for
Johnson
Gary,
got the
yeah.
most ever by
Yep.
Libertarian. So
Yeah.
look, I mean, my position has been like this for a while now, and I think we don't have enough resources to be spreading them out everywhere. Our resources need to be combined.
Butter. Grape or too much bread.
It's a systemic problem with the LP where we just can't get on the same page ever, and it creates problems. It's the issue of dealing with libertarians is we're so individually minded. We cannot get on the same page as everybody else because we all have our own ideas for something.
And there's a whole lot of keyboard. There's a whole lot of keyboard warriors who aren't willing to get off from behind the screen and go do something either.
Yeah,
but you know, you've got that group, and like I said, you've got the group who, and you see it constantly. We are a political party and we run candidates, and that's all we do. And it's like, okay, well, you failed at that.
But that's not
and my whole thing is,
we're
a political party. We look to make change through the political process.
Right? You're a political party.
That is my view on it.
And you're a third party in a two-party system. So you need to adapt or you will starve out.
And like I said, the adaptation is looking realistically, and where you can win as a libertarian, you go win as a libertarian. Where you can where you can determine the outcome, you hold their feet to the fire, you determine the outcome, and if they don't follow through, you fuck them over the next time around.
There we go.
Right. That's how you get credibility. And once you get credibility doing that, then people start to buy in. Right. People want to be on the winning team. Like that is a very big part of this, is that people want to be on the winning team. If they think you have a chance at winning, they're going to come to your team. Right. That people are going to follow to it. And so you have to present as being someone who has the ability to win, and when you're determining the outcome this way or that way, you get that attention. You know, like I said, you start getting people funding ads for you from outside, which is fine at that point, right? Like, okay, yes, spend your money on me. I'll take that all day.
Mm-hmm. But do you need a chance based on like logistics more, or do you need people to think you have a chance, which is a different thing, I would argue, in this. Like the optics of it are different than the actual like points of merit in a race.
You need the optics of being a player in it.
Right.
Not just the footnote. You need the optics of being a player and not a footnote.
I feel like the LP hasn't had that in like a minute or ever really. Like in a way that's really moved the needle. Like
Because, like I said, the like Jake said, you know, Gary Johnson was the biggest presidential returns. That's because everyone at that point hated those two, and then by 2024, you know, you had people that were so sunk into the Trump side, and people willing to go along with it again, and then people who are like,
give the same bad option long enough, and people either get on board or hate it more.
So you know, and this is the way, you know, if you want, you know, and it seems like within the party, there's the argument of, you know, the party being the ends, right? Like, okay, if we just elected all libertarian candidates, everything would be perfect, which is not the truth. It is not how that would work.
Did you say the ends or the ends?
The ends, right? But this is it's a means to an end.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's a means. I'm talking about means to an end, right? Yeah. Like what we desire, what we see doesn't come from the fact that people with L next to their name are in office. It's that culturally things have moved to the point where people are like, hey, live and let live. We're going to, you know, we're going to back off this, more free market, less this, less that, get government out of your life, less spending, you know, and the Fed, whatever there, right? It's the cultural acceptance of that stuff that is the victory, not so much what letter someone has next to their name.
I agree.
And the way you get there is by playing in the political arena, because that's where people pay attention to it.
This is what we were talking about last episode, with the difference between libertarian ideals getting more attention and actually impacting people's lives more versus someone with the, like you say, Nick, the L next to their name, officially a libertarian, winning or something like that, or like getting the attention or voting for someone with the L versus voting for something that would bring about that impact on your life more and the awareness of these concepts more. I agree. And I'm at the point where I'm like, no, whatever brings about more of that cultural shift, because down the road that might lead to more actual L next to their name libertarians winning.
And better and more people who want to run with L next to their name.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
They buy into the project, right? You've got to show some winning. You've got to show some, some goal there. And the goal isn't to elect everyone who has an L next to their name. The goal is to increase individual liberty, to increase what we're saying there, right?
I agree. 100%. Yeah.
Nice. All right, y'all. Fantastic conversation. Head on over to peacefulsea.network. Check out our other shows. Check out our interview with Scott Horton that we posted this past week. 40-minute interview with Mr. Scott Horton of antiwar.com. Very fun interview. Me and Kat were able to interview him at the convention.
I'm sad I missed that, but I was busy.
It was a great time, and he was very candid and very generous with his time. He stayed an extra 25 minutes. It was supposed to be a 15-minute interview, and he stayed for 40.
To be fair, you can't get Scott to stop talking.
That's true.
If you ask the right questions, you'll
true.
get him to stay. Yeah.
We asked him about war and Dr. Pepper, and that pretty much sealed the deal.
Did you ask him about the Dr. Pepper Peace Prize he was given at the Pennsylvania convention?
I did not ask about that, but I should have. Head on over to peacefulsea.network. Check out all of our stuff over there. Our other shows. Philosophical Fall Guy had a fantastic interview this week with Brett Solomano, who's a pyrotechnic and a stuntman out of Georgia and England or Australia. I can't remember now.
They're the same thing.
They're basically the same thing. So go check all that out. And we're gonna watch a few funny videos and get out of here because I got to get out of the back of this van. I am tired of being back here.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. First one up.
They don't tell you about this growing up, but eventually you're going to spend like $200 on sand or like $600 on dirt. And that's going to be fun. That's going to be the funnest thing you did all weekend. People are going to ask you what you did with your long weekend, and you're going to be like, dude, I had like $800 worth of dirt delivered to my house. It was sick.
That's hilarious.
So much fun. They don't tell you.
But when you're like 8, you're like, that could be fun. But instead of gardening, you're like, let's put it in a mountain and like jump our bikes off of it. That's like a different.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I was having fun with a mountain of dirt.
The reason I got in later is I was trying to construct another raised bed for my garden.
Nice.
There you go.
Good job.
I was trying to get that together because I'm running behind, but I'm only planting zucchini, so that shit's gonna sprout like crazy as soon as I get it in.
Why are you only planting zucchini, Nick?
Well, because everything else is planted elsewhere, so it's gonna be zucchini and some other stuff in that.
Nothing else fits in your butt.
Well, I had to get a third bed because the zucchini last year overtook everything else that was in that bed and killed it all.
He just goes straight into like an actual argument.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the next one. Gardening themed as well, homesteading themed.
He's like, all right, I'm ready. They all just squat. They all go running from me.
Just throws these chickens. That's hilarious. I need that girl in my yard.
Back up.
Where's the egg? Oh, you're lifting. Maybe leave them there.
Holy stuff! What is that, a goose? That is so funny.
Where are we going?
Dude, kids and farms are hilarious. That's such a good combo.
I need someone to start throwing. I got one chicken that can jump over our fence.
I know you do.
Well, you better start picking it up and throwing it.
I need a kid at full time just to be like, hey, this is your job. Go throw Jade back in the coop. Like, oh my
Child
God.
labor laws are killing this country. I love this
That's so funny. I've never seen this.
That's such a good waitress. Right.
I wish I had seen this when I was still serving so I could try that.
All right, and we'll end with a super patriotic one. Here we go.
Here's a reason to the pack of tingle maker into the fucking elections on nation on the good and the biscuit fun. Behind you, I know you hot.
Word. Yeah.
All right. Freaking adorable. It was kid heavy tonight. That was good.
It was kid heavy.
Yeah, it was good though. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to episode 178 of Liberty Libations. Kat Hartley will be our guest host next week on the show. So get ready for a fun episode with Miss Kat Hartley of the soon-to-be launched Free Girl Theory. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have some great episodes coming out for you right off the bat. So stay tuned for that. Come back next week. And Alden, Nick, thank y'all for coming on the show, buddies.
That's what I
We'll
do.
see y'all later.
Yeah.
Peace.